I'm going to walk you through the solutions of one Gateway 2 sample exam. So you've already done these on your own. Look for the one that has this designation on the front page to make sure you're checking the correct answers. Also, I would like you to take note of this line here, and it's saying that students may not use a graphing calculator, but what it is saying is that you may use a scientific calculator. So you need to bring a scientific calculator with you to class and to every single retake exam. Now, I know a number of you are still having questions about when those retake exams are given. They are posted on the board outside of MCT 250. That's the math department office. Take your phone, take a picture of it, and then you will have it on your phone so that you can find it anytime you would like. It's also in the email that I sent you. So let's take a look at this first question. Find f of 9. So that's saying when x is 9, you substitute the 9 in for that x. So f of 9 is equal to the absolute value of 15 minus 9. 15 minus 9 is 6, so it's the absolute value of 6, which is just 6. So the answer to number 1 is 6. When we take a look at number 2, for the function f of x shown in the graph below, determine f of negative 5. That's saying when x is negative 5, find the y value. So we're going to come over to negative 5 and then go up and find the y value. When you do that, you get this point right here, and that is negative 5, 7. And this then, f of negative 5 is equal to 7, so the answer is 7. Remember, anytime you see that notation for function value, the number inside is the x value, and it's asking you, what is the y value? What is the y value when the x value is negative 5 for this question? Let's move on. If you recall, this file has only the odd number pages. The even number pages are in the other file that you can take a look at on YouTube. So, how many solutions does the equation f of x equal negative 7 have in the graph below? So they want to know, when is this function here, equal to negative 7? So we're going to graph a line at f of x equals negative 7. That's a horizontal line. And our curve hits that exactly in one place, so that means we have exactly one solution. For number 8, it's a word problem. We're going to draw a picture first. The largest sign for Coca-Cola is in Erica, Chile. The rectangular sign, so it's a rectangular sign, has a length of 247 feet. Huge. Over twice the width of my house, and has an area of 119,054 feet squared. So we can set up an equation. We know that the area of a rectangle is equal to length times width. The area, they tell us, is 119,054 feet squared, and that's equal to the length, 247, times the width, which we don't know. So we are trying to determine the width of the sign. Let's go ahead and divide both sides by 247. Grab your calculator to do that. And when you divide both sides by 247, you are going to get 482. So the answer is 482 feet. Let's take a look at the next problem. Find f of negative 8. Remember, that's finding the y value when x equals negative 8. So we take the negative 8 and we substitute it into every single x that's in the function. So f of negative 8 is equal to negative, and then we're going to square it, plus 6 times, put parentheses where those x values are, keeps them a little bit cleaner. So negative 8 squared is 64, but this outer negative sign still comes along for the ride. And then we keep going. We've got 6 times negative 8 is minus 48, minus then this last constant, negative 13. So that gives us negative 64 minus 48 minus 13. And when you pull them over all together, you get negative 125. And that's it on this page. Let's go to the next one. Find the x and y intercepts for this line. Write your answers as points. So that's crucial. Write your answers as points. This is one easy way to get something marked wrong for this gateway. So for x-intercepts, y is equal to 0. And for y-intercepts, x is equal to 0. So for the x-intercept, we're going to set the y equal to 0. So 3x minus 4 times 0 equals negative 72. This thing multiplies to 0, and that gives you 3x equals negative 72. Divide both sides by 3, and you get x equals negative 24. The x value is negative 24, and if you remember, we set the y equal to 0. Now for the y-intercept, the x is 0. You can go ahead and set that up in there if you would like. And now we substitute the x is 0 into the original equation. 3 times 0 minus 4y equals negative 72. This is 0. So negative 4y equals negative 72. We're going to divide both sides by negative 4. And when we do that, we get 18. Y is equal to 18. And if you remember, our ordered pairs are x comma y, so the x value always goes here and the y value always goes here. Number 14. Write the equation of a line in slope-intercept form. There's a video on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, that talks about slope-intercept form. You should go take a look at that if you haven't done that already. And slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. And here it is here. Slope is negative 4, so here we get to put a negative 4 in there. Y equals negative 4x plus b, which passes through this point. So we can take this point, 8 comma 4, the 8 is x and the 4 is y, substitute them in and find the b. Once we find the b, we can substitute it back in here again. So y equals negative 4x plus b. And then we're going to take this y, 4 equals negative 4 times the x they give us, 8 plus b. So 4 equals negative 32 plus b. Add 32 to both sides. Sorry, I was trying to get rid of that. That's a 32. Add 32 to both sides, and you get 36 equals b. And so we're going to put that in here for this b, and that will give us y equals negative 4x plus 36. And that is our final answer. Y equals negative 4x plus 36. Okay. Now number 15, find the slope of the line, and they give you this. So what we can do is transform this to that y equals mx plus b form, and by doing that we could pull off the m then. So let's go ahead and add 4x to both sides, so the 4x comes to the other side. That gives us negative 11y equals positive 4x minus 8, because remember we were adding 4x to both sides. Now we want to divide everything by negative 11. It may be helpful at this point to actually write down what you're doing at each step, and these divide out, so you get y equals negative 4 over 11x plus 8 over 11. Now, what we care about here is only this. They're asking us to find the slope. To find the slope, we only pull that coefficient of that x term. So the slope is negative 4 over 11. Notice there is no x here because that would be an entire term, not the slope. The only answer is here, so that's a common error. So that's it for the odd pages for this sample exam. You should go look at the other even pages.